What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the video. In today's video, man, we're gonna be going over some cool stuff. I might sound a little weird. It's just 'cause I just woke up again, fucked up. My schedule is so fucked right now, bro. I fell asleep this morning. I literally got stuff done for the video, which you're gonna see in a second, and then fell asleep. So, L me. But anyway, today's video is gonna be something a little different, man. So normally I do class setup videos or whatever, the best class setups, whatever. But today I wanted to do something kind of unique and kind of cool. So I wanted to showcase my opinion on some of the sexiest classes in Modern Warfare 3 and 2. And so here we go. So how this is going to work is these classes are only built off of visuals, not stats. Some of these actually turned out to be pretty cool builds. Others not so much. So let's dive in. We got a couple this video, and then next video I'm gonna do some more if you guys like it. I might do some cool ones like some shotties or LMGs and so on. But let's get into it. So the first gun is gonna be the Tar. Now the Tar was one that I kind of struggled with for a little while to build. The build it looked good. So how this is gonna work? We're just gonna hop into gun range, show it off. Looks pretty cool. I like the like the greenish brownish color. I think it looks good on the gun. And honestly, not a terrible build, to be quite honest with you. Not a terrible build. But so sorry with that weird edit. I was getting spammed by someone. I had to leave that chat group. But for anyone that's interested to see what the build is and how to build it, it is this laser, the optic, the stock, grip, and the suppressor. I'm not using, other than the optic, I'm not using any special version of those attachments. On the next gun, we got the M4, or no, I'm sorry, the MTZ556. I'm just going to do these, I have them wrote in a different order, but I want to do these in order so it's a little bit easier for you guys that are curious. But here we got the CZ5 Bren, 805 Bren, I think is what this is called in real life. Pretty cool build. Again, kind of works. Does have a flashlight, but overall, not a terrible build. A little on the weaker side. Its ammo's a little less, but it's pretty good overall, man. I think this is a really cool build. I think it looks good, and its mobility is really good too. Like, it's not terrible at all. And it just goes to show that maybe not all builds that are realistic are necessarily bad in the game. But obviously they're not like gonna be meta or anything. So again, here's the suppressor, here's the underbarrel, here's the laser, stock, and the rear grip. Again, same thing for the last one, other than the muzzle, I'm not really using anything different. Next gun's gonna be the G36. Now this is one that I was kind of weird about because I felt like I wanted to do something cool with it, but I didn't want to go overboard because of the G36 in real life is kind of crazy. But here's the build that I came up with. Some of these I use solid camo. Some of these other ones I feel like it looks kind of better if I use some of the camouflage patterns. And so here it is. I'm running the suppressor, the underbarrel, the laser, the grip, and the mag, or rear grip and the mag. And then here is what it looks like in game. Now this thing has a lot of recoil, so if you haven't noticed yet, this thing is insane with recoil. It like jumps a lot. So that is the only downside about this build. If you guys want me to build certain guns that you guys want to see, let me know. I'm gonna start doing some crazy stuff this game too, like some of the worst builds you can get. But on to the next gun, which is going to be the ACR. Now the ACR is probably my least favorite of the bunch, other than another one. Because it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So I wanted to do like this like solid tan version, so like a real life looking version, but unfortunately there wasn't a camo that didn't look right with this build, so I went with the all black. So here are the attachments I'm running. And now this actually is very, very similar to the default build. It's even got the same optic as the default build. I chose this optic because the ACR is a little bit more modernized in this game. It's a little more futuristic looking. So I wanted to give it a little more futuristic attachment. So here is what the ACR looks like in game, man. It's pretty cool. Not too shabby. On to the next gun, guys. We're going to be working on the M4. Now, the M4 was actually one of my favorite ones that I made. This looks so good, bro. It's actually insane. Like, look how good this looks. Like, this came out so well. Like, and it's actually not a terrible build either. It's actually relatively good. Obviously I put this optic on because this is supposed to be like an American M4, like the Special Forces, and they like this style of optic. Like I would say, it's what, like 4 times zoom, 3 times zoom optic. So it's not super big, but it's still big enough. It's kind of like an ACOG. So pretty cool. If you're looking at this glass and want to know how to build it, here's the attachments I'm running. I'm running this barrel, this underbarrel, this muzzle, this optic, and this magazine. And I'm also running the charcoal camouflage, so it makes it all matte black. On to the next gun, we've got the Scar. I forgot about the Scar. Here's a Scar that I made. It's not the greatest Scar. Sometimes these don't load, by the way, so in this case, we're just going to head to Gunsmith so you can see it better. But here's a Scar. I really went for that tan, deserty vibe for it, because, the Scar is this kind of color in real life. It's more deserty looking. And again, this is not a bad build for the Scar. Works relatively well. Overall, not a bad build. Obviously not my favorite either. I just wish we had a realistic Scar. I wish we had the realistic iron sights that you're going to see on the new LMG, because those are more realistic Scar iron sights. But that's all for the IRs. Battle rifles, we have the BAS-P, which I've designed after the U.S. military's new rifle, the XM7. So the XM7 is the new weapon that the U.S. military just purchased, and this is what it kind of looks like in real life. I think it has a longer barrel, but I didn't like the way the longer barrel looked, so I went with the standardized barrel. But here it is. And obviously that it would be a different magazine. It'd be like more like this, but bigger. But those are not. It's not the right ammo, so we don't have the right ammo, so it wouldn't look right anyway. So here it is. This is what I'm running: the optic, laser, muzzle, underbarrel, and magazine. You guys can stop the video, look at them if you guys want. This is the build that I ran with, and it is trash, bro. This came out visually, it came out so well, but tactically speaking, or usefulness is just not there. Now, obviously, this is not identical to the U.S. military rifle. Don't think the U.S. military rifle is bad. Actually, I heard it's really, really good. Unfortunately, in this game, the BAS-P is considered a battle rifle, not an assault rifle, which is what it is. So, unfortunately, it just doesn't come out very well. Alright, guys, so here we have the 7.62, which is basically the FAL. And so, I made an FAL. I literally just made an FAL. I added a couple visual things to help it better. Like, I made it all black. In real life, the FAL would be wooden, with some metal exteriors. And it also wouldn't have a suppressor. But I did add a suppressor to it. I just made the suppressor like in a Soviet-style suppressor. So, by the way, anyone that doesn't know, here's the FAL, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Soviet-style suppressor, so basically any suppressor that looks like what we like to call dildos, so like this, I want to say even this maybe, are usually Soviet designed. For some reason, they really like the dildo style. And a lot of NATO suppressors you're going to see in the world are going to be like this, like this. This is actually this visually is supposed to be the new suppressor for the new gun, as far as I know. It looks so similar, so it makes similar sense. But yeah, suppressors like this, these are usually NATOs. NATOs like to use the longer, straighter tubes or the smaller, straight tubes. They don't like to make like lumps and stuff around their suppressors. But that is the FAL. One of my more favorite builds, personally, visually speaking anyway. I think it looks pretty damn good. And yeah, that's all for the battle rifles. I didn't do any other ones. Again, if you guys want to see me do other battle rifles, I will go for it. But Now we have SMGs, and the first one up on the chopping board is the UMP, or the UMP, or the MACTAV, as some people call it. So we have the suppressor attachments, all this. So you guys can just pause and look at the attachments if you want. Then we also go into the range. Now I picked white because I just think white looks really stupid clean on this gun, personally. But this is one of the worst builds for the MACTAV because it doesn't have the damage output that you would need for a multiplayer experience. But it's pretty realistic to what the real MACTAV looks like. Most MACTAVs in real life have that smaller barrel, or that smaller barrel with the smaller suppressor. Remember, MACTAVs are usually used for CQB or by special. I think German special forces use the MACTAV as well in real life. So it has to be a smaller design, which is why I kind of stick with that smaller design. I could have made the barrel longer, could have given it a bigger suppressor, I could have given it a bigger stock, but I didn't want to ruin it. So that's the UMP. Next one up is the Uzi. Now the Uzi, I tried to go for that. I tried to go for that whole like gangster style Uzi, and so here we go. This is the type of gangster style Uzi I used. I didn't have a gold. Gold didn't look right, so I didn't use gold. I probably could use a yellow camo to make it look like gold, but I actually think this little tiger camo looks pretty good. And honestly, quite frankly, this Uzi class isn't terrible. Like, it's obviously not as good as my meta Uzi class that I have, but like mobility-wise, it's not terrible. So that's the Uzi. And then we have one more gun after this, which we have the MP5, kind of MP5 SD, sort of. It's not 100% the MP5 SD because it doesn't have the integrated suppressor like the MP5 SD does, like I have in real life. But again, doesn't want to load there. Load it, but it's too late. We're already going in. But yeah, pretty much a version of an MP5 SD. This is like a micro MP5K almost, with a full stock instead of a folding stock. So pretty good build. Honestly, the MP5 from last year was actually really, really good. A lot of people hated it because it wasn't 2019 MP5, but in the right hands, this thing was pretty deadly. And yeah, man, I used that brown camo to kind of just make it more clean looking. If I was going to build this kit build differently, I think only other way I would have done it is got rid of this handguard and maybe put a flashlight or something on it and then make this build like all black. But maybe that's for another video. That's all the SMGs. Now we have our only marksman rifle, which is going to be the MCW, which I tried to make into like an ACR marksman rifle, which is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the ACR's marksman rifle conversion kit thing. But I wanted to make it like a real life designated marksman, so something a Marines, Navy SEAL, or something would use. So here it is, what it looks like. It's pretty cool looking, but I have a feeling it's not going to be good. I haven't tested a lot of these. I kind of just built them off visually, and I didn't test them. And it's honestly not terrible. Still a 3-shot, which is still really rough for the marksman rifles, in my opinion. But overall, not terrible. Gets the job done, and that's all that really matters. And then we have the pistols, which we have the Glock. The Glock is going to be the Core 45. Now, I know there's 3 different types of Glocks in the game. There's a Glock 18, 19, and I think a Glock 17. I believe this is supposed to be the Glock 19, I believe. I believe the Glock 18 is the full auto. But either way, this is the Glock that I made. I kind of went off of like a Daisy style Glock where it was suppressor with the attachments, so I didn't want to put like any craziness on, but I did increase the barrel, the magazine style, and the barrel looks a little better. It looks more like a John Wick barrel than the regular Glock barrel. But overall, not bad. I like it. I think it's a really good build. Honestly, the Glock in this game is just so satisfying to use, like the tier. There's really no bad builds you can do with it. I don't know why I'm like out of range right there. But that's the Glock. Here are the attachments once again for someone that wants to look. And then the last pistol we have is the Golden Desert Eagle, which I used the Magma for this one because I just wanted to see the full auto one. But this is the Golden Desert Eagle that I put on the build. I thought it'd be kind of cool to showcase one golden gun. And here it is, the Golden Magma, the Golden Desert Eagle for my gangsters out there. and you can see that it's actually a really good build, surprisingly. Like, for just being a visual build, like, all it has is a bigger barrel, bigger mag, and a better hand grip, and I think, a better trigger. But otherwise, nothing else, completely stock issued. So pretty cool. That, my friends, is all of the MW2, MW3 sexy builds that I've made. This is something I had an idea the other day. I was going to do IRL builds, but the problem with IRL builds is, first, it's so hard to find every build with every attachment and figure out what attachments do what. Um, because there's hundreds of versions of every gun out there. There's thousands of attachments in the real world that you can use, and it can get really, really hard to really make a good version. There's some people on YouTube that do this pretty well, but even they often don't upload very often just because it takes so much time to figure out what guns use what attachments. And then if I say the wrong thing, I'll piss off someone in the gun community, and then it's a nightmare. But this is a way of doing it, but in a fun way. I can just kind of make it as realistic as possible, but also make it look pretty cool. So it's like, again, some of these attachments, like this gun right here, wouldn't need a bipod in my opinion. But I think it fits what a designated marksman would have. A lot of the designated marksmen, if you actually look in real life, a lot of them have about like a foldable bipod of some form on them. The only difference I'd say, if you're going to make this build, for example, this one, is if you put the longer barrel on, maybe like this barrel, that would kind of make it a little better. Um, but I just think it looks really odd the way it is with the longer barrel. So again, that's entirely up to you when you make these builds. And if you guys use these builds, let me know down below what you think about them. How well did you do with them? I know some of these, probably like the M4, the G36 maybe, definitely the TAR, the MTZ. Those ones you could probably go really well, like really positive with. But I'm going to try to fix my fucking sinuses this tonight so I can get another video uploaded. I meant to upload all day today. I had like a ton of videos I wanted to get pumped out for you guys, and I fell asleep again, bro. So I'm an idiot, man. But anyway, man, I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.